Ooh, is it going? Hello. Welcome to the Words Out podcast, where we tell you what is up and what is out in the world of poetry.
Yes.
My name is Sammy B. This is
Kenny KP Walker Jr.
And today we have a special guest with us, Complex Angel. Welcome.
Peace, y'all. Peace, love, and blessings.
Yes.
So, Complex Angel, I believe I met you at Funky Verbs, Funky Words.
Yes.
That was my first feature, actually. And I met you there. I remember you were like kind of in the corner a little bit.
Yes. To myself.
Right. You were kind of to yourself, but you at the same time you had like this energy that was very like, if you want to be in my space, welcome.
Yes. I remember you too, because I remember when Beta Pen went up, she had these angles, like she was just on the floor, like twisting and turning, like, recording him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, she got some good angles. Like, that's a good friend to get on the floor, you know what I'm saying? Lay their hair down just to record somebody.
Oh, you're going to professional thing.
Yes.
She's all over like, this is going to cover of Life magazine. I'm
going
to get you.
I noticed a lot, but I was definitely in the corner. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you noticed that. Thank you.
Yes. Definitely a good friend. Yes.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I think you're a good friend too, because I feel like with the different things that you do, and you're also someone who is always recording the other poets, which, like, I don't always feel that people appreciate it as much as they should. Because like really recording that whole time is your arm is up like this. It's kind of for the whole night. Come on now, people. Your poor arm. But yeah, so I really, that's why I wanted you on this podcast, because it's like, I feel like you are someone who gets overlooked a lot in our community. And I really don't think you should be, because I see what you do and I recognize how valuable it is to have someone there to record everyone and to like support everyone and to like, you know what I mean? Just really, so thank you so much, Complex
No
Angel.
problem.
You always need somebody there to document like what.
I just believe in the domino effect. What you put out comes back.
Yes.
And I love supporting, because I would want somebody to record me. I would want somebody, to support me. I just believe, like, I'm not always expecting it, because I do love showing up. I've always loved poetry. I'm originally from the Midwest, Detroit, Michigan. So I used to watch Def Jam poetry. I know that's in New York, but like I've always loved the way East Coast, with the spoken word and cipher. So I love it. I can't get enough of it. When I took a break in July, I was peeping on people's lives still, because I couldn't be away from poetry. Like, I felt like a little kid on punishment looking outside.
Oh, no.
That's how much I love it. So, yeah.
Oh, but that's so great though, that like, so you came from Detroit, you say?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So what did you
You're a Detroit girl.
So I wanted to put my social work degree to use. I had got my bachelor's degree in social work 2014, but it was hard finding a job. So I was settling for checking in people at doctor's offices. I ate a lot of good food, because doctors eat. they eat. Like, I swear, I ate a lot of good food, but I'm like, this is not what I stayed up late at night.
There's a lot of good. My ex-wife was a receptionist at doctor's office. There's a lot of like medical people that try to sell you stuff.
Yes, and they gotta buy you lunch. Yes,
they bring in sandwiches and everything.
I've had Indian food. I've had sandwiches. I know you guys call it hoagies on the East Coast. We call it subs in Michigan. So like I had a lot of that. I gained a lot of weight, but I'm like, I'm not fulfilled.
Yeah.
So it was either here or Atlanta, but Philly was calling back really quick. And yeah, I moved here 2017. Kind of winged it, I was just ready. And yeah, I had a lot of ups and downs, but it all worked out in the end. I've been here 6 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's so fascinating to me. So you were from Detroit. You got your degree in social work, but you weren't getting the work you wanted to do. So you moved to Philly.
Yes.
And then, so is that where you found the poetry community, or?
Yes. So I was on the phone with my cousin. My cousin is like an army rat. He traveled a lot, and he was like, Philadelphia is the heart of poetry. And I'm like, really? I'm like, this is new to me.
I didn't know we are.
Yes, like y'all have a lot of open mics. Like
we're pretty up there on the.
Y'all have a lot of open mics. Like when I was in Michigan, like, because don't get me wrong, I lived a little bit outside of Detroit, but I used to go to this one open mic. It was for free in Suffolk. It's like Suffolk Public Library. But then you have to travel all the way out to either Ann Arbor. That's like 45 minutes away. If you know of University of Michigan, that's where Ann Arbor's at. You have to travel all the way out there. Ipsy, West. There, if you come here, there's one in South Philly. There's one in West Philly. It's always an open mic every night of the week. So,
and even because I usually do mine in South Jersey. So South Jersey, like right across the bridge.
And New York,
there's a whole bunch. And then you get 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. You go to New York.
Yes,
you're good.
And heck, if you just want to go to Newark or Jersey City, there's a bunch of open mics there now too.
And we're like 2 hours away from DC and Baltimore too.
I definitely want to hit up Baltimore. I like how they punch the mic.
They do.
I've seen it's Black Chakra, right? I've seen him perform. He punched the mic, and I'm like, oh, that's something different. Like I feel like everybody, like Philly people,
you just hold the mic.
After you get done, like just that's your way to say I ended the poem. Like I know here Philly, a lot of people don't use the mic; they project their voice.
Yeah,
that's starting to rub off on me. I feel like every part, like New Jersey has their own style, but I definitely want to go to Baltimore and see, and I want to go to Boston too. Yeah, especially after that Legends showcase.
Right. No. So can I just say something real quick that you just mentioned? I don't like it when poets don't use the mic. I hate it because I'm partially deaf, so I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Even if
you must hate it when I perform.
I do hate it. I do hate it. Like, because I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I just can't hear you. And if you don't use the mic, I'm not going to be able to hear you unless you're like really loud. But there's always a couple lines that you miss out on. So that's actually something I think Philly needs to work on, is remembering that not everyone has the same access to hearing.
Yeah.
Which is also why, when Lex did her ASL, there was a poet, Lex Unapologetically, who did a feature at Voices in Power recently, and she did ASL during her set. I thought that was brilliant and I actually thought she could have taken it a step further and like hired an ASL translator to translate everyone's poems that night. That would have been super dope. And I actually saw someone go to another open mic that week, and they had an interpreter there, and they interpreted everyone's poem. I was like, yes, that's what I want. That is what I want. That's the accessibility that I think the poetry community needs. But
I didn't know that though. I did not know that you were partially deaf, because I know I personally, I went on a break because I was dealing with imposter syndrome. Like I found myself comparing myself to people after I would get done. I would say, well, dang, I didn't get that. I didn't get that type of applause. I didn't get run that back. And I had to go back to the drawing board. Like, who do we do this for? Are we out here trying to get validation?
Right.
Or are we just really out here trying to get a message across? Because my poetry reflects my healing journey. So I had to go back to the drawing board, and I said, I don't want to hide behind the mic no more, because I feel like I have to kind of be subtle. You guys heard Sammy B. I'm a real quiet person. I sit in the corner, but I'm learning to take up space.
Yeah.
So I had to just learn, like, if I don't hide behind the mic, they can see me. So that's why. But you do have to be considerate. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's different styles, different places, different people, but and we respect the different cultures, right? However, it is just the fact that, like, sometimes certain poetry communities are set up in a certain way where certain other people may not feel as like welcome or whatever. So it's just trying to figure out how we can all get together and like make it work for everybody, or at least for as many people as possible. Because, we're always saying we want this to be safe spaces. Yes. I definitely feel like your open mics, especially because they're online, is a very safe space, and it's very inclusive to people with disabilities, people who maybe can't get out to these events in person, especially like, Voices in Power. They don't always have chairs. They don't, things like that. And I'm not saying anything against Voices in Power. They do what they can.
Yes.
But it's just, accommodating everyone isn't always possible. So when I see spaces like yours where it's very easy, and it's also like you don't charge a lot of money, you charge like $3.
So that's my Stimulate Your Mind group sessions.
Right.
The virtual sessions for the Art of Creativity, we do that for free. We do it every other Sunday. We come up with a theme. People come on and perform their piece. They can do up to 2 pieces. And me and my co-host Melissa, we write down lines that really speaks to us. And we just tell them like, yo, I really like this part because it meant this to me. And they be like, yo, that's what I meant. Like, for some reason, it's always, that's what I meant for the poem. Like, because it's really hard to read a poet's work. Because sometimes the reader may interpret something totally different.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But
definitely.
every time we do it, they be like, yo, you guys were head on.
Right.
So like we are having our first face-to-face one November 5th. It's still going to be intimate. And we're still going to do that because we feel like people need to be seen and heard.
Yes.
No shade to any platforms because everyone is doing a dope, phenomenal job.
Right.
But a lot of times sometimes what if a person gets up there and they do a heavy piece?
Right.
And then, you just clap them off and then you say like, it's not easy being vulnerable. Then, all right, next person.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let that person know that they're seen and heard, So
Yeah.
we want to still do that.
No, I really appreciate that about you. I do feel that you take that time, and it's really hard because there's so many people who want to get up on the mic, and sometimes I know at my open mic there's been a couple times where like I had to tell people I'm so sorry, I don't have time for you. And it's also that like I sign everyone up so that your time is 9:05 to 9:10. The next person is 9:15. So if you signed up and it's past that time, I'm so sorry. You cannot perform.
Yes.
But it is very important, I think, to take that time. And there's been a couple of open mics where I've been to where they do take that time. For instance, up in North Jersey in Union City, there's this one open mic called The Poetry Unfold. After every single poet, they take the time to give you feedback on your poem. They pass the mic around to anyone who has a comment about your poem.
Yes.
They say the comment, and they also make sure to say like, don't say anything that's like judgmental. Keep in mind, like if you say something about the poem, say that it made me think this, and this, not, because you don't know what the author intended. But it's just the fact that like you get actual feedback from people that I really like. And so that's just the connection I'm making with you as well, is that's the safe space that I want.
Yes.
And that's the safe space that I feel like you are providing. So I just want to thank you so much for that. Because I know it's ironic because I haven't even been to your open mic, but
you've watched though. She's tuned in.
Yeah, I have tuned in. I have watched. I have popped in every once in a while.
Yes.
But yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about like you doing your podcast. I know you had said that you had discontinued that, but that's actually why I started paying attention to you a little bit more. I was actually listening to your podcast.
Awesome. So I had two, Keeping It Complex and Queens with Vibes and Visions. If you're talking about Keeping It Complex one or Queens with Vibes and Visions one, which one do you remember?
Oh, I think it was Keeping It Complex.
Okay, yep. So Keeping It Complex, I had a couple of different poets on there, and like we just talked about different topics when it comes to like healing, and why it's hard for us to love ourselves. And I would have them spit a poem afterwards. Then I wanted to do this thing where I really started interviewing different poets to get the story behind their poetry. Like, just ask them different questions. Where was
like
your
what we're doing
headspace?
now.
Yeah. Where was your headspace at? But about the poem.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It didn't really stick. A lot of people weren't signing up. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just put it to rest. Not saying that it was a failure, because the people that did come on, I had Naima, the self-love poet, on, Be the Pen.
We had her on
Link was on, L1 the philosopher, him. Cube, he's a quiet poet, but when you really sit back and talk to him, he got some layers to him.
Oh yeah, he got a lot to say.
And Slay Maya, she's a singer, but she's heavy. But I just decided to retire it because I feel like it was just something that I brought up around pandemic, just something to get through. But it also helped me in a lot of ways. But like I said, after I went on that break and came back and really started falling back in love with my pen, I feel like it's time to retire podcast because God has more opportunities in store with doing interviews, working on my third book, and really getting out here. I really see more features coming. I have my first feature tomorrow. At the Altruistic Vision. Yes. And I just feel like it's more to come. So I'm like, God was like, put this on hold. We might come back to it, but right now we retiring it. Jay-Z retired a couple times.
It's facts, man.
Michael Jordan retired a couple times.
There we go.
He retired. Did baseball, didn't work out, went back to basketball.
Yes. We retired. We pop in and pop out. So.
Oh, well, that's that. I honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed because I did actually like listening to your podcast, but it's fine. It's totally cool, and it gives you more opportunities to jump on podcasts like ours.
Yes. Most definitely. I'm always looking to interview because if you guys interview people, authors and stuff, I definitely need to get my next book out. So I would love to come back on. Just say the word.
When is your next book coming out?
So I'm aiming for it to come out February 2nd. I got 4 more chapters. And I know that's a tight spot.
It looks like we're going to have you back in February.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. We're going to have you back in February to talk about your book.
Yes.
Now, you have this is your third book.
Yes.
What is the theme of your third book?
Oh, the theme of my third book, we are touching on motherhood.
Okay. All right.
And we're touching on the unpopular side of it that people don't want to talk about, the toxicity of motherhood. It's just basically to show what we don't deal with, how we could come back in our children, generational curses. So it's just based on 3 girls, and you see their childhood. And you see them go back and forth to show, okay, this is why they act this way because of what they seen growing up. Because I don't really like to say toxic, but I know that's a trendy word.
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of us are adults, with inner child wounds that we have not overcame yet. And sometimes we tend to lash out on our kids. I don't have any kids, but I can imagine while I'm still trying to find myself, I may not do everything right, but you have to become an adult to learn how to give your parents grace. Because I was the person that gave my mom grace too late. She passed away before I could give her grace. So it's just writing to help me get through and heal through that.
I see.
Kids are not easy. Yes. I have them. They're difficult. And it's not, and I'm like a single dad. As a matter of fact, Sammy was with me yesterday when my daughter called up crying because the boy broke her heart. And it's the right thing to say is not
right.
And it wasn't even that he broke. Well, he broke her heart, but he was forced to break her heart. I think he was forced to do it.
He was forced to do it. His dad said, "No, we ain't having that."
Racist parents,
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but parenthood is not
easy.
It's not an easy thing at all. And when you say generational curses, that brings me back to the relationship I had with my father and the relationship I had with my older son, my son who's like 30, and me and my father are kind of 2 different people. And when my son found out he was going to be a dad, he called me up and goes, "I want to teach my son the same things you taught me."
Yes.
And at the same time, I'm on the phone and I'm like, what the fuck
did I teach?
What did
I damn, I don't.
There wasn't a curriculum.
Like I don't.
That's one thing I've heard. It's really hard to teach, the proper way, because sometimes we just only know how to show.
Yeah.
So and I still think that's dope though, that they say if you're doing it right when your kids come and talk to you and have that uncomfortable conversation.
Yes.
I just wish I could have had an uncomfortable conversation with my mom to say, you know what, I get why you battled with some of the things that you did. Because it took for me, I'm a real and raw person. My mom struggled with drug addiction. And I always felt, I suffered from abandonment issues. And I always felt like, oh, you put a second. But then when I moved to Philly, like I said, 6 years ago, I was in an abusive relationship. Love can be an addiction too.
Yeah.
So I just say that to say, going through what I went through with him and getting out of it and healing, I'm like, okay, I understand addiction when you're addicted to something, you're just trying to get to your high, and everything else goes to the back burner.
Right.
So
right.
yeah.
And you didn't, and she passed away before you could give her that grace.
Yes.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Yep, she passed November 18th, 2015. And that was another reason why I fled from Michigan too.
Okay.
Just running. That's why I said like I winged it. I was just trying to run, but it all worked out, you know. Like it was just multiple reasons.
It was
but
just something you didn't want. You didn't want to be in that space.
When it don't make sense, it makes sense. Yes.
You want to get,
yes.
And you know what? That you're touching on so many things for me, because I remember when my son was a teenager and I wasn't married to his mother and he lived with his mother, he would get on my case all the time about what they didn't have. And we didn't have this and we didn't have that. Yeah. And then when he became like 22, 23, and I think it was like 21, actually, 21, 20, he's in college. And we were talking, he goes, you know what, Dad, I owe you an apology. Because I didn't know everything that was going on at the time.
Yes.
And I blamed you for this, that, and the other thing.
Sure, yes.
But I realized it wasn't all you. So, you know what I'm saying? So
you get older, understand some stuff like, oh,
yeah,
man.
when you get older, and I have teenage daughters, and I wait for them to get older to understand more things, because they're not going to get it now.
They're still in
17, 19, and 21.
Yes.
They're not going to get it now.
Man.
Oh man. No, you're making me feel guilty.
Don't feel guilty.
I just got into a fight with my mom.
but see, okay, honestly, I was the same way. When I had a friend, when her mom passed, she was telling me like, oh, I wish my mom was still here. When you're in it, you're in it. You get what I'm saying? I just tell people, be honest with yourself and try to come to some level of understanding, because when the day comes, I never tell nobody you should forgive, because I don't know what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give myself grace. My mom, you know, I feel like little kids are a reflection of what was poured into them. Right. And my mom had a lot of frustrations. You know, she was a Gemini, air sign. Oh, you know, man. You know, like, but you know, like it's a struggle, you know.
My dad and my ex-wife were Gemini. I get to turn on you.
So you understand. So it's like, you know, she poured a lot of frustration into me, and I gave it back, you know. But we had our good times. I just feel like I'm just here to paint a picture. Be gentle with your parents, because they were learning as they were raising you. But also, parents, deal with some things before you bring a child to this world, because baby, it does come back. Like domestic violence was definitely a generational curse in my family. Right. From my grandmother to my mom to my sister. It stops with me. It has to stop with me.
And there is no handbook.
That part.
There is no handbook.
Yes. My best friend tells me all the time. I look up to her. She's a single mom of 3 kids, and she's raising them effortlessly. I'm like, girl, you set the bar. But she was like, sometimes I still feel like I'm not a good mom because there's no handbook to parenting. Yeah,
there's no handbook, and you can't judge the way someone else parents.
Yes,
you can't say.
You gotta check yourself.
You gotta, you can't keep your mouth. You know, I have friends that they don't believe in spanking. And you ain't got to beat the hell out of the kid.
Right.
You ain't got to beat the shit out of the kid.
I know what you were saying.
But, you know, you say something smart, that ass gets whacked like once or twice. That's it.
Yeah, well, there's scientific evidence saying that it's not good for your kids, but it's fine.
Look, I got my ass beat. And I didn't do. Look, my dad's 81 years old. He can still kick my ass because.
Yeah, and I know all the psychological issues you have because of that, Kenny. It's okay.
You know, Leo's the philosopher come out of us. We see. We have a gift of seeing the brokenness in people because we want to mend it. I swear.
I'm so broken.
Hey, listen, we all are.
Okay,
we are.
We still love you. We still love you.
I'm so broken. Don't touch me. I'm broken.
No, we still love you, Kenny. We do.
So what we're gonna do now?
Sure.
Is we're gonna let you spit.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna let you spit. I'm gonna move out the way here.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna do is I am going to.
So I'm gonna just do 2 pieces. All right. Okay. Cool.
And
yeah, I like the hair.
Let you spit.
There we go.
Any recommendations or
no? You do what you feel.
Okay. So I'm gonna do classes in session. People like that one, and this is a great epiphany that I've had. So here it goes. I used to love ripping the arms off my Barbie dolls. Remembering my mama chuckles tickle my ears as her words vividly played in my mind. You only love toys when they are broken. I wonder if she could see my desire for projects then. How I love being in control of putting broken pieces of people back together, hoping their appreciation would rain down on me. But I realized lost souls don't smile pleasantly as Barbie. That rainbows don't always show up after rainstorms, but still, I felt the need to be the umbrella for those who couldn't find their own shelter. Even if that meant me getting wetter to keep them dry, I loved them too much. I was willing to block out the gloom so they could still believe that sun rays do shine. Down ambition. Only the potential I see for them wasn't strong enough to make them reach it. Frustrated and stagnant at the age of 29, God set me down, told me it's time to start getting in alignment. Classes in session, and while learning these lessons, I realized some classes I excelled in. Others, I definitely failed in. And one of them was knowing how to love a man, finding ways to float, praying someone could see the help in my flailing, but I was left to nurture my own wounds. I remember loving science more than math. Doing my research on if he's cheating made my educated guesses always right. Knowing my observation of I'm not the only one would help me analyze to come to a conclusion. Life would test the shit out of me, but I was always up for a challenge. I loved an experiment. Math, on the other hand, stopped making sense to me when letters got involved. Steady trying to find the why they don't love me in them while they're seeking for the explanation in their ex. Niggas can be complex as an equation at times. And their confusion was no better than mine. Couldn't interpret my literature. It was like reading Shakespeare in their eyes. No matter how many cliff notes I wrote, it was always my heart left on the edge of the cliff noted. Psychology taught me people only do to you what you allow. But I wonder if it's cool to contest that now because sex education omitted so much of the truth. Taught me about the birds and bees, but not the soul ties in between. I mean, not trying to point the blame, it's just society talks about the not trying to point the blame, it's just society talks about the beauty of the rose while not talking about the pain the thorns bring. God, I pray the next man that comes along has true intentions. Let his love bring me peace and not shatter me to pieces. A love whose imperfections are perfect enough for me. May you give me discernment on if he's here to block me or bless me. Because there's no difference in the smile. Let him be a blessing that comes in divine timing and not another project as a painful lesson in disguise. Home.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, I appreciate it. Okay, one more.
One more. Give us one
Okay, so I'm gonna do this one. I did this at Voice and Power. I'm gonna do okay. So y'all gotta really pay attention to this one. I'm not even gonna get into it, but it's called Traces of Her Lipstick. So I'm gonna do this one. Here we go. Have you ever slept next to someone physically, but mentally away from home? A house that no longer feels comfortable to be yourself in. Y'all been together 10 plus years, but the chemistry been gone like 5 years ago. Trapped in a routine that's second nature, doing shit because, well, it's the right thing to do. Yet your heart is not in it anymore. I know this story too well because I'm living it now with this girl I used to love named Annalise. Not Annalise Keating, but this bitch definitely knows how to get away with murder. Hides evidence to prove her innocence. She also loves music that I'm not too fond of, plays songs in a loop of all the negative things ever said to me like a boomerang. She always throws shit back in my face. She's foreign to the language of giving space. Still, I'm supposed to love her. Even if it's suffocating, I'm supposed to love her unconditionally even after she love bombed me. Married me into a bond blindly. Showing so much love and compassion, kissing my tears from dusk to dawn. Annalise knows how to hold me down. However, she can be possessive. Threesomes are always out of the question, even though I have no choice. Because every time I try to form connection, she's right there with that negative voice. You know they don't love you like I do. You'll never be good enough for anyone. And I just let her go on and on and on. She consumes my thoughts, has a chokehold on my heart. Every time I try to breathe, she has a tight hold on my chest. Why can't she let me be? I've tried to leave multiple times, but I'm bad at cutting ties. She has me so mixed up in her lies. Her loyalty confuses me because she's always right there by my side when everyone else disappears. How do you detach something from your heart that's been right there from the start, but is also tearing you apart? And I'll admit, I did once love her, seeing like a queen on the throne until I realized she was slowly becoming the death of me. Can someone please help me write this Dear Jane letter to Annalise? Oops, I mean, my anxiety. Poem.
Whoa!
Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you.
I love You
Yeah.
said pay attention. I'm like, okay.
I'm paying attention. Like, who
Pay
is this
attention.
chick?
And then you went to, yo.
Yes.
Yo.
My best friend, when I read it, she was like, I was like, why you look so confused? She was like, I'm trying to see when you be, like when you started dating females, and I didn't know about this. You told me everything. She's like, but then you got me at the end with anxiety. So yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, is she LGBTQ? This is news.
Yes.
This is news to me.
Wow, that was dope.
Thank you.
That was
Thank
dope.
you.
So you have a feature tomorrow night.
Yes.
Where is it? Let's talk about
So
it.
it's Altruistic Vision. I do not have the address on file. I know it's in Gaydon on Church Street. Listen, if y'all follow me at complex_angel90, I'll definitely send the flyer.
I was just gonna say, how can we follow you?
Yes.
So it's
complex_angel90 on Instagram. Facebook is my government name, so don't follow me on there. TikTok, I mean, you can, but I mean, it's Natasha Williams. But I really go to Instagram and TikTok. TikTok is just complex_angel90 without the underscore. But I'll definitely send it. It's going to be my first feature. Since it's the last day of the month, even though it's Halloween, domestic violence and breast cancer awareness. But my feature is not going to be talking about how I was in it. If you want to read that, read No Apologies. I'll have copies on hand. This is going to be telling what it was like healing from the abuse. I feel like it's time to tell that side. We've lived too much in it. Tell them how you healed from it, because it's still people in it. And talking about it, thank you. Talking about it makes them feel like I'm still stuck in it. Let's talk about how we can heal from it. So show up.
All right. Now, are you going to be anywhere else?
Yes. So the Art of Creativity, if you guys follow Instagram, _art_ I hate underscores, creativity _333. We are having our first face-to-face open mic November 5th. It's going to be at Keisha's Kitchen in Northeast on Orthodox Street. We are going to be, they have like a little upstairs session where we're going to be at. It's $10 in advance. You can
only $10.
Yes.
Only $10.
Only $10.
At the door is $15. They are going to have hookah. That's an extra fee of $15. So if you want to pay $10 in advance and you want the hookah, $25. If you pay at the door, $30.
Yep. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Especially with the hookah. That's definitely not a bad deal at all.
Yes. Thank you. And then I'm having I'm a Stimulate Your Mind awareness coach. I'm going to say that real quick. It's just group discussions, topics every month. It's open-minded. You do not have to be healed. It's not like a therapy session. It's just a topic where we show up, we talk about it. No one debates. We're talking about motherhood. That's the next one. It's going to be at 3525 I Street. Food will be included. $21. I know they say why not around Mother's Day? That's my mother's death anniversary, and I want to celebrate her in that way. So yes, talking about motherhood.
Okay.
Giving flowers before it, too late, but not too late, because she can still receive them spiritually.
Facts.
Yes.
Spirit.
Facts.
Spirit. So like I'm Korean, and like in our ancient culture, we're very much about like the ancestor spirits and stuff and honoring their spirits. So like she definitely can still receive her flowers.
That part, yes. I believe what you heal, you're healing the bloodline. Yep. This was dope. You guys have something dope. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I was nervous, but I'm like,
what you nervous for?
Because you don't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys made it easy breezy.
Oh yeah. No, we're happy. We're very happy.
And we like talking to people.
Yes, I can tell.
Sammy, tell them where you're gonna be.
Oh, where I'm gonna be? I'm gonna be at home. I'm be at home. I'm be maybe on Monday I'll be with Kenny, but like other than that, I'll be at home.
Man, Scream Be Cool. That's my song. Oh my gosh, I love that song.
Oh no, I'm just kidding. But I do have something on November 18th. I think with Divine Styles. I'm gonna be performing my song.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
I saw that. Yeah, after that.
But other than that, I'm gonna be home.
Listen, we're homebodies.
It's facts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick you up and take you out the house. You be good. You be good.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Yeah, you be good. You know me, I'm a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay.
You can follow me on Facebook, Kenny KP Walker Jr. and on Instagram, Mr. Kenny KP Walker Jr. But just don't follow me home.
Right. Well, I mean, if you're good looking, maybe you could follow him home. You know.
I'm all look. I'm all into the intellectual. The woman has to be
sappy. Is you a sappy or
she
what
has,
is it?
she has to be,
all right. If you got brains and you good looking,
yeah. Okay,
okay,
well I ain't gonna toss you away.
If you give good
I'm just
brain,
saying.
just saying, if you give good brain.
If you give good brain, then he takes good brain. You know what I'm saying?
I was vouching for myself. If you give good brain, come this way.
Yeah, you know. But no, Wednesday I will be the feature at Poetry and Laughter.
Yes.
And Miss Silly's Blues. I'm usually the host. And Elijah the barber put this together and he said, Kenny, you're always hosting everywhere because I host like 6 different open mics a month.
Yeah.
And you're always hosting. I think you need a chance to feature somewhere. So Wednesday I'm going to be featuring. I got some surprises coming up.
Is there you guys? So you're in New Jersey with can you please? I'm gonna follow you. Can you please send me? I want to become a traveling poet. I want to start really traveling and getting out there. Yes.
Heck yes.
Well,
come to Miss Sealy's Blues.
Before we leave, we're gonna change the Thursday, I'm going to be hosting at the Lair Gallery in Oakland. That's where we usually do our podcast, but tonight we're in Rec Philly. And our featured poet is James Ellaby. Friday, I'm going to be hosting in Picture Perfect Affairs.
Picture Perfect.
For Lyrics to Go in Mount Holly. And we have a short open mic list that night, but we have something called the Don Evans Players. And they're going to do a short play.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be some poetry involved in that play.
Yes.
And Saturday night, I'm going to be doing my podcast with my sister on Facebook and YouTube, Kathy and Kenny, Explain Pop Culture.
Hey.
And because of the Matthew Perry thing, our topic this week is celebrity deaths that have rocked the world or affected a lot of people. Michael,
Robin
Prince,
Williams.
You know, believe it or not, DMX.
Michael
I feel like I lost
Jackson.
an uncle when DMX passed.
Yeah, DMX.
I felt like I lost,
Well, we're gonna hit like Elvis, Prince, Michael. I'm gonna say Whitney.
Yes, Whitney. I feel like I lost an
like a
auntie.
big one, you know.
Yes, I feel like I lost an auntie.
So we're gonna hit
Robin Williams.
and maybe
Robin Williams,
maybe Robin Williams, River Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna hit on a lot. And my sister wants to start with Natalie Wood.
Okay.
Only because, and I know she's an older actress and everything that happened.
That's the one with the eye where she was up skiing.
No.
Okay.
That's the one that drowned.
Oh, okay.
And her husband was on a boat, and the actor, what's his name, was on the boat, and nobody knows what happened. And she apparently she was definitely scared of water, but for some reason she was in the water and she drowned. It's a whole mystery. But Natalie Wood, my sister says that's the first time like Entertainment Tonight wasn't really popular, and then they started covering that, and then they Entertainment Tonight big. So we're going to be covering that. So that's what I'm going to be all week, and then in the future I'll be other places. Just follow me, you'll see.
Yeah, you can follow Mr. KP Kenny Walker Jr. You can also follow Words Out Productions on Instagram. You can also follow Poetry and Paintings NJ on Instagram.
Yes, he's always hosting content.
Well, it's because of every open mic I go to, I just post the videos on Poetry and Paintings.
Yeah, it's so dope.
And so now let's get down to our
random question.
Out of the box, a random out of the box question.
All right. Oh shoot.
Okay.
Stimulate my mind.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, you're comfortable though. Right?
Yes, I'm comfortable. Okay.
You're good. So, and I had this when I was on the train coming over here. Okay, so you are stuck in a room like this, like the room we're in, and you have a TV and you have a DVD, you don't know how long you're going to be in this room. You'll be in there days, months, years. Okay? What 3 movies are on the playlist? Because you don't know how long you're going to be there. You only get 3.
Does it have to be movies? Can it be shows?
No, it's got to be movies.
Got to be movies? Okay.
It's got to be movies.
Oh, okay. 3 movies I could watch over and over again. Eve's Bayou. That was just a classic.
I never seen that one.
Oh, with Megan when she was younger.
Yeah, Megan Good.
It's definitely dope. To my surprise, it falls under thriller. I didn't really see that as a scary movie, but I love that one. I could watch Law Abiding Citizen. I love that movie with Gerard. I think it's Gerard Butler. And Jamie Foxx. And what's another one? I was a big Selena fan growing up, so I could watch that. I didn't know that she was singing another language growing up.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't when I was little. I didn't know. I'm over here singing beady beady. Didn't know I was singing this. I'm like, it don't make sense, but I'm gonna sing. Yeah, those are the 3.
That's one of the things where you're singing songs and you don't really know the lyrics.
Yes.
And you think you know the lyrics, and you really thought you knew the lyrics, and didn't know you were singing Spanish.
Yeah. Man,
that's some fuck shit right there. That's some fuck shit right there.
I was 7 when
you was,
came.
hey,
yeah. Doing a little spin in the different.
Yeah,
those are the 3.
You doing the whole thing. What was your 3 movies?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know because I don't really watch movies like that.
That's what I was gonna say. It shows, but yeah, those
like what I don't know. Up, I don't know.
I've never seen that movie. I heard it was dope.
I haven't seen all of them.
Okay.
I have kids that they were younger when that came out. Yeah, with the balloons and everything. I haven't seen the whole Up thing.
Okay.
I just didn't do anything for me.
I would legit just pick all Disney movies because
I like Soul. That would be a good one.
Yeah,
Soul was good.
Yeah,
Soul was good.
Soul was good.
Soul was good.
It was kind of funny because it was like the little character that was like trying to find her soul or whatever. Like she kind of came off as like a white woman in the movie. So it was like a white woman in a black man's body. It was very interesting.
Oh, yeah,
that's just how I felt about it. It's my own projection. I'm not saying it was a white woman. I'm just saying it felt like a white woman.
When he kept going back to Earth and coming back.
Right.
Yes. Try
I got 3 easy ones.
What is it?
I'm a big Prince fan, so Purple Rain.
Okay.
One of my favorite movies ever, Magnificent Seven, the original from 1960. Because I love old movies. And Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
That's with Bernie Mac?
No. That's Guess Who.
Yeah.
Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is the original with Sidney Poitier, Spencer Tracy.
Okay.
And
I'm showing my age.
And Spencer Tracy, Sidney Poitier, and Katharine Hepburn. Who actually, when that movie was made, Spencer Tracy died right after. He never saw the movie. He died before the movie came out. And since they were a couple, so to speak, or whatever, Katharine Hepburn never saw the movie. She lived. She never watched the movie because it was too painful for her, because that was his last movie.
Oh, that's sad.
So, yeah.
Why would you want that to be?
Speaking of Selena,
but the movie itself is dope. The movie is dope, though.
I get you.
Speaking of Selena, her husband just recently watched her movie.
Really?
Like I think like a couple years ago. He said he can never watch up to the part where like she passed, but he finally watched. So yeah.
Now, I wonder how many, because I know what I was doing last night. I was watching Friends reruns. And I'm sure a lot of people over the weekend were probably watching Friends reruns. And now people like Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Matt LeBlanc, and David Schwimmer, and Lisa Kudrow, they might not be able to watch it now.
Yeah.
Or, who knows? Or his family might not be able to watch it,
Yeah, that's true.
Man.
So we want to thank you so much
for
coming on and blessing us with those pieces.
Thank you.
Because I'm going to get your information because I don't think I follow you.
No.
So I'm going to follow you because I want to see, because I love the way that I love those pieces.
Thank you.
I loved it. That was just awesome.
I smell a feature.
Thank you.
I know. Because
yes,
we look, I host like 6 different open mics. We can get you in South Jersey.
Yes.
Damn that.
I'm just going. Okay, I gotta stop avoiding the tolls. How much does it get? How much does it cost to get across? I'm so cheap.
It costs $5. It costs $5.
Okay.
$5.
Because I'm telling you, one time I was trying to cut off a semi truck and I couldn't get over, and it was like, welcome to New Jersey. That junk said 2 hours because it's trying to get me around all the turn. I need to start getting on the turnpike and going through the tolls. Oh my gosh, I'm cheap. $5. Okay.
Yeah.
Cash? No cash app. No credit card.
Yeah, you gotta do cash or Easy Pass.
Easy Pass or cash.
Yeah. I learned the hard way. New Jersey don't give a damn. I was like, I don't have no money on me. He was like, it's the ATM over there.
Like, no, he didn't.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, like you ain't getting.
Okay.
I told him I keep it on my card.
So if you don't have cash and you go through the cash toll, you can ask for a ticket. They'll give you a written ticket where you can send in a check.
Okay, cool.
Okay. But they only give it to you once.
Okay.
So
or you can go past the Easy Pass.
Or you can go through the Easy Pass.
And then they'll just take a picture and they'll send you the ticket.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Which is a little bit more than $5.
No, don't do that. It's like $50.
I learned the hard way with New York. You know how you go through Holland Tunnel?
Oh yeah.
It's no getting around that one. And I didn't pay it, and they was like, now it's $60.
Look, whenever you go to New York, it's best to either take a train or a bus.
Okay.
Like, that's me.
True.
Y'all think I'll survive? Listen, Detroit's Motor City. We always have to drive everywhere because buses always going on strike.
All right. Well, if you know what, when next time I go to New York or you think you might want to go to New York, let me know. I'll go with you.
Okay, cool.
Because I'm an expert at public transportation.
Yes. Oh my God.
If y'all go to New York, see what I'm doing because we road trip.
Yes.
Road trip.
Yes. I'm getting used to driving out there. It's not too bad.
It's not. It's really not.
I was scared as hell when I first moved here.
The only thing about Jersey you have to worry about is the deer.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I'm talking about New York. New Jersey is some dark roads with them deers. Yeah. They aggressive. But New York, the streets and the way they drive, but now I'm getting used to it. So.
Yeah, Jersey deers are like, hey.
Yes.
Hey, you in my way.
It's a video where this lady had hit a deer. I forget what part of. I think it was. Is there an Eddystone, New Jersey, or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was over there. It's not funny, but she opened up to like look, and he ran up on her. So I was like, I'm gonna show y'all after this over. I'm gonna show y'all. I said, see them New Jersey deers about that life. But that's all.
Yeah, New Jersey is definitely about that life. Definitely about that life.
Don't fuck with New Jersey. Yeah, don't fuck with our deer. Don't do it.
Deer. Nah,
you don't want to do it.
Yeah, you mess with the deer, you're gonna get, it's a thing. So we are gonna close out. And next week we have Lamont.
Big dummy.
Okay.
He's supposedly supposed to be the guest next week, but I gotta text him.
Okay, we'll text him. 13th we have TIF to the motherfucking Peter. Yeah.
Hey, I like that name.
Yeah, she's dope. So she's gonna be the 13th. But for now, I'm Kenny KP Walker Jr.
I'm Sammy B. This was Complex Angel.
Yes.
Thank her for coming in there. Thank you
so much for coming again.
Thank you so much for joining us. God bless your soul and keep living peace. See you next
follow
week.
Words Out Podcast.
Follow Words Out Podcast. Like us.
Yep. Like us. Subscribe. Do all that good
all
shit.
That stuff.
All that yummy, shit. Delicious.
All that shit. All of it.
Keep using your words.
And putting them out.
Yep. Bye-bye.